First up is our art segment with Philip Morris, our host. Philip will be interviewing Tony Iadicicco. Tony is the executive director of the Albany Center Gallery. Philip will be interviewing Tony and talking to this upcoming artist about his life and his work. Let's watch.
Welcome to Impact. I'm Philip Morris, CEO of Proctors, and your interviewer and host today. Our guest is Tony Iadicicco, Executive Director of the Albany Center Galleries and a very active working artist. Tony, welcome. Glad you could be with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, you make art. What do you make?
I do abstract oil paintings. That's kind of what my focus is currently.
Scale, big, small, what?
I try to go large, 4 or 5 feet. For me, that's pretty large. Studio makes it difficult always to do that, but that's kind of where I like to feel the most release, larger.
Inspiration, what drives the stuff?
I think with so much going on, it actually gives me a chance to kind of settle down into my own zone, and that's kind of where my inspiration is. So I guess all the activity and craziness that happens, it kind of lets me pull from that and create.
So when you look at your own pieces, do you see the last 2 weeks of your life sort of summarized?
I think maybe my whole life. I think it sums up pretty much every piece I do is hopefully always a growing process. So that's why I continue to paint. It's an ongoing project.
So great. So you're from the region?
I was born in Watertown, New York, military base. Family was in the military, so we traveled around. But I was in Schenectady for a good part of my life, so yeah, I guess so.
What were you doing?
In Schenectady?
Yeah.
Working, I guess just volunteering a lot, just trying to be very active in the arts community, whether it's Schenectady, Albany, Troy, Saratoga. Just trying to really embrace it and make it part of my life.
Where's your studio? I wanted to ask that.
Where is it?
Yeah.
It's at State Street in Albany. I have a small, probably 10 by 10 space that I create in right now.
So that's why it makes it hard. You'd go bigger if you could?
Yeah, actually, the Olander in Schenectady, I used to have his second floor, which was about 10,000 square feet. So I used to be able to go, a lot larger, have more storage. I'm kind of a hoarder with items and things I think I can kind of re-art, but then I had to downsize into 10 by 10.
From 10,000 square feet to 100?
Yeah, it's tough.
How'd you do that?
My parents' basement. I gotta sell a lot more work, which is nice because now I don't get to hold on to it. So I try to put it out to the community, so I don't store it.
So now you're at the galleries. How long have you been at the galleries?
I've been at the gallery for a year and a half.
Yep. And what inspired you to become an administrator?
I love business. I love when you're in a position you can actually make things happen. As an artist, you can do that as well, but working as a business kind of gives you a little bit more of an advantage working with people in the community. So I think it's something that was necessary for me to take on. So I'm happy I'm there.
So what are you hoping to do with it?
Just keep lifting the bar for showcasing the highest and amazing artists that we have in our community within 100 miles of Albany. So really it's endless. If we keep attracting people to move here and the artists stay here, it's only going to keep highlighting what we have to offer the community.
So talk about it. Who's the artist? What's the scene you see? How do you describe the scene to other artists?
In Albany or at the gallery or just in general?
At the gallery in Albany, all of it.
I guess there's a lot of elements that make it all kind of a scene. Each individual, each group has kind of their mission of what they're doing, and I think that's gonna what highlights the community by everybody doing what they feel they should provide for the community. At the gallery, we try to keep our bar very, very high. Currently, we have Ed Cowley show. He was a department chair for University of Albany for 40 years. And that kind of helps lift the bar of the gallery by showing these artists and people that had such a big impact in the community for such a long period of time. Mm-hmm. And then working with emerging artists and people that are kind of doing things that are a little bit more risky. We also get to showcase that as well. So we really don't have any boundaries of what we can showcase. It's really just seeing what people need to see and putting it on display.
But again, what's the scene like? I mean, how do you describe the artist life of the Capital Region?
Artist life? Everybody's pushing really, really hard. I think now people are trying to really make it a career, a life choice, and knowing that it might not always be the most financially best way to go, but I think a lot of people are actually putting that effort in because there's the opportunity for it. So again, it's just a lot of people are just trying and pushing, which is good.
Does that seem new to you? I mean, you're
not,
a young man, but I mean, how do you see it in a historical kind of way?
I feel like it's probably been always going on. People have always been trying to push and make it happen, and then creating more opportunities with new places opening up. I mean, there's always places for artists to showcase. So I think with the growth of the communities, it's allowing more artists to kind of step in and help out. And obviously, the more networking and kind of involvement they have, hopefully, the better they are with their art endeavors, wherever they take it.
So how do you talk about the Troy, Schenectady, Albany? Are the artists divided among those places like other things are? Or do they feel like it's one place?
I feel like maybe for certain organizations or groups they might be, but if you, like I personally actively go out to meet these artists to actually close that gap, because it's really just making the whole area bigger for everybody to play in. It could be kind of separated if you allow it, but if there's people that want it to connect, those are the people that are kind of seaming the community together. So I feel like it could be a disconnect, but I don't want it to be that way.
So what do you imagine doing in 20 years?
Imagine doing in 20 years. Continuing to paint. That's one of the things I want to always focus on, whether the job I'm running a gallery, doing my own gallery. Painting and being happy is my ultimate kind of goal in life. So if I can do that, I'll be pretty amazed.
Do you want to stay in this region? Would you move? Would you?
Yeah, I like staying in this region. I think there's a lot of opportunities. I want to see more things kind of grow, and hopefully with energy and working with the right people, more things will start to happen kind of independently. And that's kind of the things I want to nourish, is those things sparking out and then just kind of really reaching more people. So yeah, I can see myself staying here for a long time.
So give me a couple of things that really turn you on.
Turn me on?
Region, yeah.
I guess I feel like the people. I feel like everybody's really wanting to make something happen, and I like that. I feel like nobody's really lazy that's actually trying to push for the arts. And I think all of that energy is what I really am attracted to, because that's kind of the same way I am always kind of on the move, wanting it to be possible and be a success. So I think all the people that I work with are at that same kind of mindset of wanting to improve the community. And that's kind of the overall goal, is making the community a better place.
So that's that. Are any other things that turn you on? Any other things you kind of go, this is great, this is fabulous? Do you talk to friends from, Eastern Rhode Island and go, you ought to move here?
Well, I guess everybody feels where they're at is maybe not as good as where they could be. I'm totally content with this being the place I should be. Everybody obviously thinks that it's always greener on the other side, but wherever you are, I think you can make the best out of it. So I guess I take that in part of my everyday, just making the best of the days that I have.
And what do you think of the gallery? Where is it in 20 years?
20 years, hopefully a larger space. It would be great if it was rent-free. And just really just kind of, again, showcasing the top artists in the area. I think that's what our mission is just to showcase this. We've been doing it for 35 years, so if we can do it for another 35, I think we'll be very happy, and so will Les. We have our annual gala in December. It's a masquerade gala. I'm working on starting vacant projects in Schenectady to work on expanding more artists to showcase other than just the gallery location. We have a sculpture show that is coming up in October, and also a Japanese layer and line influence show that's happening in September.
Who's sculptor?
Hilda Thompson, Michelle Vara, Paul Kant, and Jason Schultz. It's an all-sculpture show.
Yeah.
It's almost like the stuff that they practice on and then kind of disregard. I went to their studios and actually pulled all of that stuff out to kind of showcase the process of not just the finished beauty piece, but that kind of part that got on there. So it's going to have interesting work.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That's Tony Iadicicco, Executive Director of the Albany Center Galleries. This is Philip Morris. Thanks for joining us at Impact. Proctors, bringing the best in arts, education, and entertainment.